I'm going to show you how to put together a Weebly webpage portfolio for your photography this year. This one gets to be your favorite photographs, whatever you want to put out there on the internet for your portfolios. So to start out with, what you're going to want to do is go to my website, go under Assignments and May, and go down through to Weebly. There is an artist statement one too that I'll talk about it really quick, and then we'll come back to this one. So you're going to include your artist statement on the portfolio. Basically, this is kind of learning to communicate your inspirations, your ideas, your concepts, and there's lots of things on this that walks you through how to do that. So I'm going to show you that later on that you'll be adding into it. Go then today to under May, go under the Weebly Portfolio, and this is going to be due May 17th, so you have until next Tuesday to do this. This is to learn to present your photography. You're going to create it using Weebly.com. This is very user-friendly and drag-and-drop kind of website, and this is for your own personal website for your photography. Feel free to check out my site. I've got it here. Basically, this has galleries of my own pottery and all the different kind of things that I do. There's all sorts of things on here. And then there's student galleries and my resume, and it does have my artist statement too, which is talking about what inspires me, and then there's a contact page. Now on the contact page, I would not put any of your actual personal information. I would put the contact form on there. Don't use your email address, your telephone number, your address, anything like that, because this is on the internet. So do the contact form. It's one of the drag and drops, so I'll show you that shortly here. So you can close that out. You're going to need at least 3 albums when you work on it, and when you're done, you're just going to email me what the link is. So that's your site name up here to put under there. If you're under 18, I would like you to go to Settings and SEO. I'll show you where that is, and check the box to prevent search engines from indexing this site. This means that you can actually share the link with others. You can copy this and send it to people if you want them to look it out, but it won't be searchable on the internet. People can't type in your name and look for you. So I want you to do that if you're under 18. If you're over 18, that is up to you. So I'm going to go to Weebly.com and start out by signing up. Now it is going to, because I already have a site, I'm going to see here, I'll put in actually my school address and see if I can start another one here to work with. You're going to choose a password and sign up. Okay, so this starts me fresh on something. So the first thing you're going to do is to choose a theme, and under here you've got lots of different types of layouts on things. You can see there's check under those. You can scroll down and see the different things. What I would highly recommend is to make sure that when you're looking at it, that you're not choosing it for the background image, because you need to make sure that you change that to one of your own photographs. In a photography portfolio, people will expect that every photograph in the portfolio be yours. If it was something for a business or whatever, you could use one of these sites that is already pre-themed with a picture behind it, but for the ethics of a photography portfolio, you need to put your own image. So don't choose it off the image, choose it on the layout, choose it on especially the buttons. The buttons, like this is a hot button to take you to different places in the site. This is a menu board, and then there's also buttons and titles and stuff like that. Choose it for the layout, don't choose it for the look of it otherwise. The buttons are very hard to change, so make sure that you're choosing exactly what you want on there. So you can add different names and more or less of these when it comes to menu items, but so you're going to choose off of that and choose which one you want to go with. You can start the free trial. I don't want to go too far into this. You can use, this allows you to do all the features. You want to actually use a subdomain of Weebly so that it has the .weebly.com. That's all free. If you register a new domain, you're going to end up paying for it. So don't register that. Whatever you put here is what's going to actually be out there and be a domain name on the internet, so choose wisely. You don't have to have your name as part of it at all if you want to, or you can put your name. Some things will already be taken, so it won't allow it. For example, if I just tried to put in portfolio, I guarantee you other people have portfolio. Let's do, it says that it's taken. So if you go out, like I know that mine is Aaron Portfolio, it should say taken, and yes. So choose something, it will tell you whether or not it's taken or not, and then once you've chosen that, then hit continue. You can't change that later, you would have to start a whole new site to do that. I'm going to just stop out of this one because I don't want to go too much farther with this and go back to my own. I'm going to log out. Let's see. Go back to mine and go down here to this. That's how you can automatically go right back in. I am going to log out of this one and go back in as the one that I have. Otherwise, that is my school site. So I'm going to log in. So I have both my personal site and my personal portfolio and my school site on that. So if I go in here to edit site, once you've set it up to begin with, it will take you out to the website creation tool then. On here, you can basically, when you hover over things, you can click on them and see what comes up. There's things like the edit image and drop-down menus on the sides when you're using one of the original themes. There is drag and drop for everything. I'm going to go to my pages and I'm going to add another page to it. Currently you won't have too many pages here, just whatever is up top. I have a lot because I have been using this for quite a while. So I'm going to hit plus on the side. I'm going to just use a standard. There's options of different things, but standard works well. I'm going to do a practice page, and I already started one, so I'm going to do a practice number 1. And I could either hide it in navigation. If I did that, then if I did this, I wouldn't be able to see it under here. Currently I did put one that's practice already on the bottom, so I'm going to add another one to that area. You can choose whether or not you have a header on it. This is the tall header. There is a short header. You can change these images in here. I currently don't want any on there, so I'm going to go with no header, and that way I can just build straight on the page. I'm going to click Save. And then I'm going to move this one to where I want it to be. I'm going to put it up, oops, accidentally clicked. I'm going to put it up above, so because right now it fell under here, under the More. So I'm going to move that one because it's out on the same level with the others. I'm going to grab it by, and by the way, you got to grab it by the 3 dots that are on the side here to move it. I'm going to grab it by the 3 dots and I'm going to move it up to where it should be. I'm going to put it under May. And, whoops, it's a little bit touchy. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to move it under May. Very touchy. There we go. Under the same practice. So if I drop it here, it will be on the same level as this one. So I have a practice and practice 1. If I want it to be a submenu, I just pop it in one. And then when I look at it here, it's going to be on the side here. So there's actually, oops, a drop down. So when I click on that, then I've got the drop down coming off the side. So I'm going to go there because I want to play with that. I'm going to put it on the same level as the other one. Now, by the way, this is saving it for the time being, but it's not truly saving it. To publish is to actually save. So make sure that you stop and publish every once in a while. So I'm going to publish this so that it gets in the right place and then I can keep building on it. It will always try to sell you the upgraded version. You do not need to upgrade. So I just close out of that. And when I go to build, I'll show you what is available. Everything that doesn't have one of these on it are all for free. So the only things that you have to pay for right now on this is the HD video, the audio, and the search box. All the rest of these things are free, so you can use any of them. The difference between all of them, so I'm going to put a title on here, and I'm going to call it Practice 1. Oops. Practice 1. You have the option up at the top here to do all of the different things like making it larger, so you actually have to highlight it to get those things. You can underline, you can change the color, you can take the formatting off the text. All of that kind of stuff is here. The thing that isn't here is your font. So if you wanted, and by the way, before I do that, I'll change this text, or I'll add something into here. So I'm just going to say test. So I'm going to show you what's going to happen if I go out to change these two right now. So if I go out to themes and I want to see a different font on things, and I can choose here, and you can see that when I'm hovering over these, this little blue box that's around them tells you what you're actually changing at the time. So there's different things here that I don't have on there yet. There's the paragraph titles, there's the paragraph text. So if I were to choose that, then I could go into here and I could change all of the different fonts here. So they're all listed on the side. Let's say I wanted to change that to something like that. I could do that. So I am going to change this back to the default, and I'm going to actually do that for, I'm going to go back here for the font, and I'm going to actually change that for this one too, because I had changed that before to something else. So I'm going to change it back to the default. To go back just one menu at a time is this button. To go back all the way to the beginning is that. So I'm just going to go back to where I can change my font. You can look around here. There's all different kinds of things here that you can change too. So keep an eye on those. Going back to the build then, so the other things that you have on here is I can put an image, and I'm just going to put some of the ones that I have on. I have two on my desktop that I can pull quickly. So go to desktop, there they are. Alright, so I'm going to open one of them. So the image is just a single spot for an image here. So there's my one image. The gallery is so that you can put multiple images. So if I click there, I can click a couple. I'm just going to click two for right now. You can totally do more than that. And I'm just going to do those two and click them in, and you'll see that they'll come up as a gallery here. Now if I click on here, I can actually go in and either add images, or let's say I wanted to make less columns, because right now 3 wouldn't make any sense because there's only 2 images. The spacing, you can actually give certain margins if you want to. Also, you can add a caption to it if you want. I do want you to watch for the advanced. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back and I'm going to add an image that is vertical. Find one real quick out of Dropbox. And make sure it's vertical. So I'm going to choose this one that's vertical and say open. So right now this is cropping this image because it's supposed to be a vertical image. So if I click here and I go to advanced and I go to image ratio, if I make it to none, then it makes it so that it's up and down. So that's very important. If I square things out, it's going to crop each one of them, which when you're working with photographs, that's not a good thing. So I'm going to go back up to none and say that. So make sure you know that on things. So I'm going to go back here to advanced, and I'm going to click out of there then. And there's options on here. If you want to delete something, you just hover over it and go up to the corner. Also, by the way, on this one, if I wanted to edit the image, I could go into here, and there's different things to crop or rotate, or the opacity and fade and effects and all that kind of stuff in there. I'm going to cancel out of that. So that's the difference between those. And then there's a slideshow that you can do also. So the slideshow, I'm just going to do a simple slideshow, but these could have like on thumbnails on the bottom so that you can see it at the same time as those. I'm going to do a simple one, and I'm going to choose those 2 pictures again that I have on there. Or maybe I'll do a few more here. I'll do 4 images. And you can drag to reorder. This is a very, very user-friendly site. So you can, tells you what to do for the most part. There's only a couple of things that are a little tricky. As soon as it gets in there, I will click save, and then you have the option to change the timing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to save that. Now if I hover here, it will go through and it will keep scrolling through. That's what the slideshow will do. If I chose one with a sidebar, it would have the images going down the side here. I'm going to click on here and I'm going to look. 5 seconds is pretty good, but let's say I wanted to make this even faster. I could click that and click out of there, and it will rotate even faster. So 3 to 5 is good to look at. I would say maybe 4. Let's go with that. And I'm just going to publish this so that it saves it. The other things that you have options, and by all means, some of this could be going on these different pages over here too. I'm just doing it on one to show you the practice what you can do. There is options for marking things on the map. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you could. This is your contact form. If you wanted to, on the side here, you could put in another page. I'm going to put a contact page here real quick, just standard, and again with no header on it. And I'm going to call it contact, just quick, and show you how easy it is to put the contact image in there then. So on here, so this is now under the more right now, I could delete one of those to make it show up. Put the contact form onto it, there it is. Just drag it in and it automatically gives you stuff. You can add an image if you want, either above it, beside it. I have one beside it on mine, and you can put pictures into there. Just open anything here. And you can have pictures over there also. So that's your contact form. Let's see the other things we have here. There are buttons that you can add to. Taking buttons off, like I said, are much more difficult. The embed code is, for example, if you have videos or anything that there's an actual code from YouTube, but there is a YouTube button for it too. So anything you might need to embed, but most of the time you can do other things. You can add a divider, spacer. I don't really use those. Documents do work, but they don't work exceptionally well. I usually save mine as a photograph so that they don't cause problems. I bring them into Photoshop and save them as a JPEG. So if you do want to put any document on there, you can do that. YouTube, you just grab and you pull it in. I'll throw a YouTube video in the middle. You just click and you copy out the URL from YouTube, and you can put those in. But I don't think you'll have any of those. But just so that you know that it's there. Flash and file, product, Google AdSense, block quote, social icons, all of that kind of stuff is on there. Feed reader. So everything is there. This could actually be used. The reason I'm teaching you is not only to show your portfolio of photographs, but also so that you can easily do this for a business in the future. The only thing, if you want to sell something online, you actually do have to have the paid version to actually be able to have the e-commerce section of it. But all of those things are there. When you get done with it, again, don't forget to publish. And if you want to take anything off of it, I'm going to take a couple of those pages off. I'm going to go onto pages. I'm going to take my contacts out of there and just delete that and delete the page. Just as easy to do that. I can go back to my practice ones. Actually, I'm just going to leave those there in case so that you can go and look at them. But remember, you can pop these around, do all the different kinds of things. The theme is so that you can actually change the theme itself of the whole page, or you can change the fonts. You can look at all the theme options too. There's all kinds of things on here that could be used. So have fun with it and email me the thing in the basically go to your home page and email me this. Just copy it and paste it into an email and send it to me when you're done. If you have any questions, let me know.